being house president and for me being in volleyball, I had to make some sacrifices on both ends. Sometimes the athletes don't really want to be, they don't feel like they can be involved, or they're just super busy. And so that helped for me to be able to relate to them and show and let them see that there was a compromise, or not always push for them to come to things because I knew that they just couldn't or they were too tired. The volleyball coach, Stu, is the head coach, and he really likes it when his players are in leadership roles, and he highlights that all the time. And so when it came time to pick teams, whether I was on JV or varsity, I just told him that I didn't feel like I could do varsity, and so he was totally fine with me being on JV. He wanted me to excel in both things.
Being an athletic academic HP has its ups and downs again. It all depends on when your sport is, how much time you're away from Graceland, how much time you're away from the hall. I'm usually gone every weekend for a cross-country meet. But doing that and balancing class and everything else, you just have to be able to prioritize your time appropriately. And you may have to sacrifice some of your free time or your personal time or rec time.
At first, my soccer coach was not supportive of that. Unfortunately, I had a co-captain that was also a house president for a different house. And he really expected at the time that soccer would be our #1 priority. And it was really like an ongoing conversation that we had to have with him about, because the two of us, the other house president and I felt like did everything that we could to balance our sport and our academics and our personal life and house president and all of those roles. I would say that by the end of the season, he was very supportive of what we were doing as a house president. He saw that the way that we could connect with people went beyond the soccer team, and I think he felt like that was important too.
I'd say that's probably the most fun that you can have, especially with how many athletes we have on campus. And it allows you to build a relationship with the guys on your house a lot easier, because you have those talking points that you can kind of just flow into conversation with.
At the beginning of this year, I started out playing softball and being house president at the same time. And I was really excited. I was like, I can do this. This is going to be fun. Like, I'm still going to keep the sport that I love and whatnot. But as soon as I got into schoolwork and doing stuff with the house and just doing all the softball practices, I realized that I wasn't giving my all to everything that I was in, and I hated doing that. The one thing that I remembered from when I ran for house president, I was like, I promised them that they would be my first priority. I promised my house that I would do the best that I could. And when I was in softball, I just simply wasn't doing that. And I wasn't giving 100% to my team either, because I was having to leave for certain house things. So I decided about 2 months into the year, I addressed my team and I addressed my coach, and I told them why I wasn't continuing and that I really needed to keep my promise to my house, and they all respected me for that. Like, it was a really good ending. I didn't hear anything bad from my team. They didn't call me a traitor or anything, and it was just a really good experience. I could have stayed in the sport, but I really realized what was important to me. And I still miss it, but I definitely don't think I could have done what I've done this year without quitting that.
I mean, it's not impossible to do it, as an athlete, but it's just different because you're at practice all the time, you're away at games, but it doesn't make you any better, any worse of an HP if you're involved in athletics or not.